Hello guys, welcome back to LTTF'S Customs. This is episode 7, and we got Breakfast Thomas. Normal Thomas, you can go now. That was just basically a comparison for the thumbnail. But yes, we have Breakfast Thomas. Now, let's get to the front part here, if I can get this in between the tracks. So the front part basically has what is a bush. In the episode, he had a bush in his front. So he does here. I also had his buffer broken, and there's a few dings and dangs all over the front. You can see here some of the paint is messed up. So, and he is wearing a shocked Thomas face. Originally this was supposed to be a shocked Tommy Thomas face, but I lost that. But I had the Ace and Thomas pack from a bajillion years ago, so I used that. And if we move on to this side, that's glue. There is cardboard on the top of it to represent that window frame that is all over Thomas in that episode. In the episode, you can see also, I made him look like he had actual damage instead of these show where they just kind of, threw the stuff on top of him on his prop. So I damaged his boiler. You can see I kind of scratched up his smoke box there, and you could kind of see it, but I broke his funnel, and that was done on purpose because probably took an impact from a whole window frame slamming into it. So you got damage here, and it's basically just on the front. However, was gonna do some weather detailing, and can kind of see it. However, I messed it up, so I just put a tarp on its side so to cover it up, so that way it wouldn't look so bad. So did a train boy technically, but yeah, there's the front damaged buffer. I didn't paint the back buffers, but I painted the side rods white, but they're kind of coming off the white paint. But yeah, this is Breakfast Thomas, a good custom, I would say. Now most people with Breakfast Thomas, they always put the white on the front and the back. I put white on the back, and then the cardboard color on the front, because it wouldn't have white walls inside the house. Cars joke. White walls. Anyways, in the house, so it kind of made it look like it was like normal house wall colors and not just white. So white on the outside, and then you got in the front. Now technically this isn't a brand new custom of mine. Most of the customs I've shown in these videos aren't brand new. They're pretty old. This one was made back in 2022 before I went to Strasbourg. I cut an old Lego piece in half, and that was what I used for the top. However, it was falling apart, basically. The whole front bit was basically just had its shock face with the damaged buffer. However, I fixed it up just a few minutes ago to make it updated and brand new. I also think I damaged the running board a little bit by, bending it up. Yeah, there you go. You can see I damaged the running board by bending it up. Because, flying through a whole house is going to mess you up. And Willard Audrey did the whole breakfast story just so that way he could get his running board flat. So there would obviously have to be damage to his running board enough for them to make it flat. So that's technically accurate to the Railway series as well. But yeah, that's basically going to do it. This custom, it did have this bush on top. It's basically just like model railway bush. But I don't have a model railway, so this came from like decorative moss, basically. So that's what's on the front of Thomas right there. And then you got cardboard. So it isn't hard to make this custom, just use an old Trackmaster 2 Thomas. Or Tommy Thomas if you got the money. I don't, so I used this when I did have it. When I did have Trackmaster Thomas's up the rear end. So I made this custom, so what's your guys' thoughts on this custom? Let me know down below. I'm going to let it go to 4:30, because that's when the original